Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I'm KT, your friendly neighborhood personal trainer. And in today's video, we're going to go over some of the myths associated with weightlifting, specifically for women. Because as someone who trains a lot of female clients, these are some of the issues that they bring to me that they're concerned about that are just entirely not true. So we're going to go ahead and just kill those in this video, as well as combat that with some benefits that come with exercise. So my last video was a little longer. We're going to keep this one a little short, so let's just get into it. First one on my list is weights make you bulky. I cannot tell you how many times I have sat down, specifically with a female client, and I'm telling them about, how we need to incorporate some weight training into their workout routine apart from the cardio. And the first thing they say is, well, I don't want to look bulky. Okay, so weightlifting makes you bulky. That is a myth that I don't know where we got this idea from. I'm just here to tell you that that's not true. Okay, weightlifting does not make you bulky. In fact, the bulk look comes from body fat, which I will explain in the second myth that's coming up. But you cannot get bulky from weightlifting unless it was intentional. So anyone you see that has like shredded muscle, like ooh, big, bulky, like grr, that was intentional. They were working for that. It's almost an insult, to be like, oh, like you just got up one day and worked out for a month straight and all of a sudden your muscles are that big. It's like these people have spent years in the gym, like following a very specific weightlifting program, a very specific diet to get this look. So you're not going to get that just from starting to lift weights. And especially for women, we just don't have enough testosterone to generate that huge bulk. I have seen people on Instagram, people that I admire because I aspire, to look bulky, and I work for that. But there's people who also, are just genetically gifted to where they can put on large mass of muscle. And they're on social media. They're looking great. They're posting their gains, and then people in the comments, the trolls are like, "Oh,
I bet you're on steroids. You just on T. Ain't no way as a woman you look that big. Go ahead and just be honest that you're on whatever kind of drug."
And these people are in the comments every day fighting for their lives, explaining like, listen, I'm not on anything. Part of that is true because it is like a wow factor because women do not have enough testosterone to generate this big bulk look. But it is possible with the right nutrition plan, with the right workout plan, and then there is some genetics to it. And a lot of those people always put a disclaimer like, listen, you might follow the same regimen of me and still not look like this because genetics does play a factor. So this is a long way of saying weightlifting does not guarantee bulk. You get bulky because you either have a lot of body fat or you specifically worked hard for years and followed a very specific regimen to generate that look. The second myth that I always hear is that muscle weighs more than body fat. Years ago, I also believed that because that's all what I always heard. And sometimes I'm on YouTube or on some other social media and someone's talking about their weight loss journey and they're just like, yeah, but like I weigh more because muscle weighs more than fat. And I'm just like, your video was going so great until you said that. So that's absolutely not true. A pound is a pound. You put a pound of muscle on a scale, you put a pound of fat on a scale, they're both going to say a pound. The thing that people don't realize and which makes them feel like muscle weighs more is that muscle is just more dense. It's leaner. Whereas body fat is exuberant, it's less dense, it looks big. So someone that is 145 pounds of muscle and 145 pounds of body fat, 145 pounds of body fat is going to look bigger because it's taking up more space. You're going to have bigger shirts, bigger pants, versus when you're 145 pounds of lean muscle, you are lean, you are skinny. But both people weigh 145 pounds. You can put them both on the scale and you will look at this one, you probably assume that the one that has more body fat weighs more, and then you look at the scale, you're like, wow, y'all weigh the same, which I look completely different. And that is the key to that. So it's not that one weighs more than the other. One is just more dense than the other. Which takes me back to my first point about the whole bulk look. So when someone looks bulky, it's probably because they have more body fat. You can have a whole bunch of muscle and also on top of that, a whole bunch of body fat that's going to make you look bulkier. Just as some, body fat makes you look bulkier. Body fat looks bigger because it's less dense. muscle mass is lean, so it looks skinnier, but they weigh the exact same. Weigh the same, look different. Weigh the same, look different. And this is why with a lot of my clients, I will tell them to ignore the scale, because yes, you could be losing body fat and gaining muscle mass. So your weight can be exactly the same, but you're going to look completely different. Like you at 175 pounds of body fat and you at 175 pounds of muscle mass is going to look so different. You're going to be like, I don't even care that I'm 175 pounds anymore because I look so much different. And that's why numbers is a dangerous game to play when you're on a weight loss journey, because it can be discouraging because you're not seeing the number decrease the way that you want it. Visuals is more important. How are you looking? How are you feeling in your body? That's a whole nother video. To sum up this one, muscle does not weigh more than fat. They weigh the same. Muscle is just more dense than fat. Okay, let's move on. Number 3, you can spot train fat. This is another thing that you unfortunately cannot do. So I hear a lot of people say, oh, I just want to lose this. I just want this going. I just want this going. Like, give me exercises I can do to lose the fat here. While I can give you exercises to strengthen it, to gain muscle in that area, so when you do lose the body fat, it doesn't get, you don't regain the fat as quickly, and you can actually look toned as opposed to having loose skin or so. Sure, I can give you that, but I can't give you exercises that are going to specifically burn fat in that area, because that's not how fat burning works. Fat burning is an energy source process. So when you're in the gym, you're doing your running, you're doing your weightlifting, you're doing any kind of exercise that is going to require energy from you, your body is going to tap into your energy reserves wherever it can get it, whether it's going to immediately burn the carbs you just ate for breakfast, or whether it's going to shoot for the body fat that's in your body. It's going to get it from wherever it can get it. So just because you're doing squats doesn't mean all of a sudden your body is going to be burning fat in your legs. Just because you're doing bicep curls doesn't mean that your body is going to be burning fat in your biceps. Just because you're doing 1,000 crunches doesn't mean your body is going to be pulling body fat from your abs. Your body is going to get the fat from where it can get the fat. The good news is, if you're the kind of person who has fat nowhere in your body but in your stomach, that's good for you, because when you're doing exercise, you can be guaranteed that your body is pulling fat from here, because that's the only place that it has it. But if you have fat here, and you have fat here, you have fat here, you have fat everywhere, your body is just going to pull that fat from where it can get it from. It doesn't matter what exercise you're doing, it's going to pull the fat from where it can get it. And that point also goes to my very first point about weight to make you look bulky, because while you won't look bulky, you can look toned, which can be a good look if that's what you're going for. So if you're somebody who has a lot of body fat to lose, you're going to want to replace that body fat with some muscle so that you can look lean and look toned, as opposed to having very, very loose skin from all the body fat that you lost maybe doing cardio or something like that. So muscle building is going to give you that toned look. Weightlifting actually helps you keep the body fat off, but that's a subject for another video. And the fourth and final one I will mention for this video is that weightlifting is bad for your joints. Actually, quite the opposite effect. So weightlifting has a lot of benefits to your bones and your joint health. For one, when you're building muscle, you are building muscle around the joint. So having that strength helps support the joint. Now, improper weightlifting can be bad for your joints. Putting too much stress, overdoing it can be bad for your joints. But just weightlifting in general is not said to be bad for your joints. But this is also a topic that can be extended to a later video, so I'll just leave that now to nip that one in the bud. But yes, weightlifting, not bad for your joints, actually pretty good for your joints. Okay, so let's get into some benefits of weightlifting and just exercise in general. One being an increase in your confidence. So let's think about this, okay? Like, imagine the commitment to yourself to go to the gym 3 days a week, let's say, for an hour at a time. So for one, you're showing yourself that you are someone that you can trust. You set out to do something, you said you're going to do it, and you kept doing it. So now you have this trust within yourself that, like, I am someone that can commit to something that I set out to do. So it helps build that trust within yourself, which then later builds your confidence, because you feel like, I can do this thing. The mile that I couldn't run a few months ago, now I can run. The 10-pound dumbbell curl that I couldn't do last month, now I'm curling 15 pounds, So as you get stronger, you get faster, you get healthier, you get into a routine, you are boosting your confidence. The next benefit is going to be that mental health boost. Now, if you already are in a bad state, you have terrible conversations with yourself, you're always speaking negatively about yourself, calling yourself names, saying this is why you can't do this. Of course, when you go to the gym and then the exercise is hard or you can't do something, you're already having that negative mindset before you even step into the gym, yes, this could make it worse. But an opposite effect is it can give you a mental health boost, because when you're doing these exercises, you're releasing these endorphins and you're releasing this dopamine that's going to enlighten your mood. That's why people say a lot of therapists as well, or just anyone who's in the mental health world always suggest go out and exercise, go get some sunlight, go for a walk. Like, doing these things can help increase your mood. And a lot of people use the gym as a healthy outlet for their stress, their anger. They're feeling bad, they go work out, sweat it out, work it out, and they feel better. So you can get a great mental health boost, a great confidence boost when it comes to exercise and weightlifting. The third benefit is going to be that preservation of muscle mass. So as we get older, our muscle mass starts to decline. That's just a nature thing, unfortunately, but that's what happens. Especially for women, once we hit menopause, after that, it's like the decline happens, right then. For men, it's usually pushed down to like they're into their 60s. But regardless, the muscle mass decline is going to happen. So when you're already in your earlier years working to put on muscle mass, as you start to lose muscle, once you have a big amount to start with, as you're trickling out, it's not going to be so significant than when you had a small amount to start with, and then you're losing that as well. But for two, continuing to work out and lift weights throughout your entire life, when you're young, when you're middle aged, and when you're old, is going to preserve the muscle mass that you're naturally going to lose, so it's going to make that smaller. When you can keep your stability, when you can keep your joint health, when you can keep your strength, you're less likely to have issues as you get older. So this is another great benefit to exercise, weightlifting specifically. Then the last one I will mention here is the decrease in body fat. So yes, cardio is a great way to lose weight, guys. Like, I'm never going to deny that or say that that's not true. It is a great way to lose body fat. But lifting weights has the same effect, because you're still using energy, so you're still going to have to tap into those fat stores at some point. So it's also a great way to lose body fat. But the thing that people don't speak on is that the more muscle mass you have, the higher your basal metabolic rate, so your BMR. What this means is, in lame terms, is that the more muscle you have, the more calories your body burns at rest. This is going to slow the chance of you regaining body fat, because you have so much muscle mass that replaced the body fat that you lost. So this is a great way to lose body fat, but also keep body fat off. Okay, that is all for that video. So in summary, some of the myths that we busted today when it comes to weight training is, one, that weight training makes you look bulky. That's wrong. Two, muscle weighs more than fat. That's wrong. Number three, you can spot train fat. Another big X on that one. And then four is that the weight training is bad for your joints. So those are four myths that are simply not true when it comes to weightlifting. On the opposite end, we went over some benefits to exercise. One being an increase in your confidence. So ding, 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 a check mark for that one. Two, an increase in your mood. So we get a mental health boost when it comes to weightlifting and exercising. So another check for that one. Number three, what was number three? Number three being preservation of muscle mass. That's another benefit that we have to weightlifting. And then number four, a decrease in body fat. So boom, we got four myths that we busted, and we got four benefits that we just came aware of. So that's all for that video. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for being here. In the comments, please let me know any other myths that you might have heard when it comes to exercise. Let me know any other benefits that you could think of. And just let me know in general how your journey with weightlifting has been. What things have you taken from it? What things have been bad for you? What has been good for you? Just the whole shebang. Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel. If you want to share this with someone else, be sure to go ahead and share that with a friend or someone who might believe some of these things and you want to show them that that's not true. And if you like this video, then go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Till next time, don't forget to crush it.